Welcome to the UNA Baseball Review. Here are your hosts, Coach Mike Keene and Jeff Hodges.
Welcome to the UNA Baseball Review. I'm Jeff Hodges, joined by UNA head baseball coach Mike Keene. Coach Keene, the UNA Lions on a bit of a roll here in the midseason. The Lions now 16-5 overall, up to 7-4 in the Gulf South Conference, and 7-2 in your last 9 games. Both of those losses, one a one-run game, the other lost in the other team's final at bat. But the Lions really seem to have gained some confidence and are playing well and really pulling out some games at this point in the season.
Yeah, that's a lot of times the difference between having a good record and one that's not so good is how you win the close games. And we've been real fortunate to come out and have some breaks and win some close games. Earn a few, but it was another good win this other day. And hopefully we'll continue to go and play better and get a little bit better each day and improve and continue to get our offense clicking in a lot better direction.
The way our last Gulf South Conference series fell, you had a single game on Sunday, lost 3-2 to Christian Brothers. I know that had to be one of your most disappointing losses as a head coach at UNA, but turned around on Monday, won 15-5 and 5-0, and the team really came together in that doubleheader.
Yeah, it was. We talked about it early in the week. We had the Trevecca win coming off of Big Valdosta, and then the Miles. We didn't play very well at all against Miles. I thought we were flat. And really disappointed that we came out and was flat as we were against Christian Brothers, which we told them they were going to be a good ball club. The guy pitched really well. They also had a much improved team, and they just don't make mistakes defensively. And we were flat, and they did a great job, and they made some great plays to allow us or not allow us to get any momentum. So it was obviously a disappointing loss, but we did rebound nicely and came back with a couple big wins on Sunday, that's what we needed to do.
The 15-5 win was an extremely long game, a lot of walks, a lot of hits, but able to get some offense going. Game 2 was all Kyle Kunkel. Kyle pitched a 1-hit, complete game shutout, only allowed 2 base runners, and for that he was named Gulf South Conference Pitcher of the Week, and he's really come on his last 2 starts and done a great job.
Yeah, he pitched, we remember the Valdosta series had a big win over that game, also off hitting-wise and pitching-wise, and against Christian Brothers he was really locked in. I think he's only walked 1 guy, so hopefully he'll continue to do that and keep working at it. But just a dominant performance. Only gave up that hit, I believe, in the 2nd inning, and this really was just attacking the zone, mixing up. His changeup has been really good. Their pitches are down in the zone, and when his stuff's in the zone and he can mix all 3 pitches, it's like any other pitcher. But he's going to be tough to hit if he can do that.
The Lions picked up another midweek win, 8-7 over Montevallo, an in-state game, a Division II win for you, so it's big in that respect. But a game again where your team made a few mistakes. It looked like you had the game under control. You made some mistakes and fell behind, but were able to come back. And really, it was a total team effort. 18 guys played in that game. We pulled it out 8-7.
Yeah, it was. It was a game when we knew Montevallo was they're 7-3 in the Peach Belt, so they're doing really well. So we know it was going to be a tough game and a tough contest. And we thought we had to lead, getting towards our bullpen, up 5-2, and then we have make a mistake, walk a guy, hit a guy, and then have another kind of mistake, and then they earn and get a couple of runs and then take the lead. But like I said, we fight back and tied the game up, and everybody that I asked to come in and do their job, they did. We're able to get a wild pitch to win the game. A weird way to win it because it was kind of leaving guys on base. Each of us had 13 hits, I believe, and one had 2 errors, 3 errors, and then finally lost on a wild pitch. But it was a good win for us, and especially a good in-region win.
It has to be a good feeling to be able to look around in the dugout and know there's some guys that can come in and help you. In that game in particular, Tyler Hall with a big hit, Kyle Hubbard came in with a big hit, Brandon Pugh, who had not been in the game, came in and pinch ran for you and actually scored the winning run. So everybody contributed.
And that's something that I felt with this team that we could do, and I've been able to utilize them. And we even brought after Hubby gets a big hit, we bring Mitchell Lovell, who can run, steals a base. Tyler Hall had a big hit the other day. Christian Brothers tied the game and put him in again and did a good job, put the ball in play. And I think that's the key this year. This group's done a lot better job of not striking out when we have guys in scoring, but moving the baseball, either getting a hit or doing something with it to get it forward to put the defense in a position they have to make a play. But I thought overall a good job by the bench. And said, Brandon, when you get him on base, it was great to have his speed at the end of the game. I mean, we couldn't ask. I told him after the game, you couldn't ask for a better guy on the bases in that situation because anything hit, he's going to score.
And Jacob Westerhouse, 3 1/3 innings of long relief, got his 4th win of the season. His ERA is down to 1.29, doing a great job. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have more Lion baseball for you when we come back.
TNT Fireworks is proud to support the University of North Alabama and the Lion baseball team. Like the UNA baseball program, TNT Fireworks is committed to excellence. Our product, service, and teamwork are the reasons we are America's #1 selling fireworks brand. Check us out at TNTfireworks.com. And remember, if it's not TNT, it's not fireworks. TNT Fireworks encourages the entire Shoals area to support head coach Mike Keene and his UNA Lions by attending a game at Mike D. Lane Field. Roar Lions!
Come So you can doubt.
What's going on up there?
But you can hate.
Welcome home, Chuck. This is all for you.
Are you serious?
I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash.
We're joined by junior outfielder Dylan Calhoun from Cropwell, Alabama. Dylan played at Pell City High School, also played at Snead State Community College, and you made the Division II thing look kind of easy so far. You came in, you're in the starting spot in the outfield, and you're the team's leading hitter right now, so it seemed like a transition's gone pretty well for you.
Yes, sir. It was a pretty big transition, though. In the GSC, I see a lot more breaking balls than I did in junior college. Junior college, they had a lot of pitchers that they all threw pretty hard, and they all just tried to throw fastballs by you. In the GSC, you got to work with changeups and curveballs, and all the pitchers can spot up a lot better than they could in JUCO.
You made a big impact your first game of the season down at Miles. The first inning, threw a guy out trying to tag from third, and then were able to drive in a couple of runs and a win, so just came right in and took charge.
Yes, sir.
But right now you're batting .382 to lead the team, also a .429 on base percentage. And that seems to be something this team's done really well. It's taking a lot of pitches and drawing walks.
Yes, sir. That's Coach Keene all the way. He first inning, every time's first time through, he wants us to take till we get a strike. You know, work the pitcher, work the count, and then try to make the pitcher come to you, not help the pitcher out, and then that allows you to get more walks and allow more things to happen on the bases.
Last season we really struggled to score runs, and that's you've been a big part of changing that this season, being able to get on base. Obviously in the leadoff spot, very important, but when you're getting on almost 500% of the time, that's key for the team. But you've also done a great job in the outfield, be able to start right, left, or center. Comfortable in any position.
Yes, sir, I am. I played left last year a lot at Snead, and then I played right a lot at Snead, and then I finished the season playing in center. So I mean, I've played the outfield pretty much every position, so I'm pretty comfortable there. So
it's a very competitive situation in the outfield. You got several guys that can come in and play, and it seems like y'all mesh very well together as far as playing defense together.
We do. We're all on the same page. As Brandon Pugh says, we're the no-fly zone, the NFZ. So.
Talk a little bit about the attitude of this team. That seemed to be an issue last year. We lost so many close games, but this year y'all seem to have the confidence, and several times already early in the season we've been able to come back and pick up some big wins.
Yes, sir. It's a weird feeling with this team. It's a good feeling, but no matter if we're down or what, when we come in the dugout, there's always a feeling that we're not going to lose. And I think that's a big part of the senior leadership. You know, Conkle, whether he's in the game or whether he's not, he's always up in the dugout, always getting people going. Westy, Crabtree, Guzay, Debo, everyone's always up in the dugout and just, getting us going every inning. So,
thanks for joining us, junior outfielder Dylan Calhoun from Pell City. And welcome back to the UNA Baseball Review. A great interview there with Dylan Calhoun. And the leadoff spot on any baseball team is a very important one, and especially in our program over the years. I mean, playing a lot of small ball and those kind of things, but we're scoring more runs this year. But part of that reason is the way Dylan's responded in the leadoff spot. Right now he's batting .382, but a .429 on base percentage. He has 17 games where he's reached base in a row, and then has the most multi-hit games. So he's really played a key role for you.
Yeah, and it was he didn't start off in that capacity. He was in the 6th hole and was doing such a great job, and we just kind of had some guys struggle at the top of the lineup. So basically he was 6, Guzay was 7, and both of those were doing so well. Felt we had to make a move and put him in 1-2, and since we've done that, both of them have done a great job. But Dylan, the thing about him is I put him in the leadoff role, and I told him one thing is I just want to get him up to the plate as many times as we can, and obviously and you can see the reason why, because he's usually going to put the ball in play. He's got some pop in his bat. I think that's where he's a little bit different. He can drive the ball when he's using the whole field, having singles to left field, up the middle. Then he can also drive a ball in the gap like you saw the other day. But he's just really done a tremendous job for us getting on base, and then obviously in the RBI capacity, he's been able to drive in some key runs too.
And while we're talking about Dylan's transition over to Dylan Boston, had a great streak this past week, 5 consecutive hits, 3 of them were for extra bases, and he leads the team with 24 RBIs, and that's something he's done consistently for the last 3 years is driving runs.
Yeah, he's always been a good RBI guy. You know, when Dylan gets hot, he's as good as anybody. And part of the thing is when he stays patient, you know, he's got bat speed, you know, he's got strength, and when he waits for his pitch in his zone, you know, he's as good as anybody that's in the conference. And, you know, he's always been such a good RBI guy, even when maybe his average isn't as high. But again, he's going to be one of the top guys in the conference in RBIs. And we're going to need him down the stretch. And if he can continue to be patient and use the whole field like he did the other day. And what's really remarkable, he has 2 triples on the season. So who would have thought that? But part of that is, you know, when he does get a ball in the gap and, you know, they think he's not going to pull the ball or pulling the ball, then he goes the other way. It has a defense in a different alignment. So he's done a good job.
We had 4 triples last weekend. I think that's the most triples maybe in a season for a lot of years, so really remarkable there. But another thing I noticed this past weekend, looking at our starting lineup, all 9 starters had an on-base percentage of over 327. And just in the last 7 games, we've drawn 48 walks. So just really an incredible job of you guys taking pitches, making the other pitchers work, and being able to get on base.
You know, we talk about that. You know, every coach and program has a different philosophy of how they want to do it. You know, we try to be able to be patient, make the pitcher throw his pitches in our zone, don't chase any pitches, and make them work. And that's when I think as a pitcher, it's frustrating when you throw a good pitch, but it's just down in the zone, then it's a ball, then they're not chasing it, they're not hitting their pitch. And when you do that, it frustrates the pitcher. Then it also forces them to throw a pitch in your zone. So yeah, obviously the last several games we've done a good job in getting on base, and obviously it helps to get guys on base so we can get them in.
Another guy's done a great job hitting, Jake Smith, not only drawing some walks, and his on-base percentage is up there as well, but he's really had a lot of key hits for you.
Right, and Jake has probably made as much progress as anybody as far as weight. He's always had a really good bat angle when he swings. I always thought he had one of the better swings, but sometimes he would try to get pull happy, try to lift the ball. When he stays line drive, stays inside, and the thing right now is hopefully he'll continue to do it. He is another one. He's keeping those hands back and not laying off. He's not chasing any pitches whatsoever, and he's moved himself up into the 5 spot. And again, he's got some pop in his bat too. So hopefully he'll continue to go. When he's staying, like again, another guy that stays through the middle of the field, he's pretty good.
We'll take another break, and we'll have another player profile segment for you when we come back.
He is the most interesting man in the Shoals. He is an artist, a writer, a philosopher, a historian, musician, astronomer, wine connoisseur, environmentalist, Peace Prize recipient. When he speaks, people hang on each and every word, especially the verbs. His personality is so magnetic that he cannot carry credit cards. It is said that once he taught a German shepherd how to bark in Spanish and taught a horse to read his email. Someone recently asked him what he did for fun, and here is what he said.
I don't eat out every day, but when I do, I eat at City Hardware because to me, it's the most interesting restaurant in the Shoals.
We're here with junior pitcher Austin Carpenter from Fort Payne, Alabama. And Austin came in last season, pitched for the Lions, pitched in 25 games, had an outstanding season. But let's go back a little bit. You played at Gulf Coast College. Talk a little bit about your first season at UNA last year and kind of the transition from two-year school.
Well, when I first came in last year, I was coming off my Tommy John surgery, and I wasn't real sure how I was going to react to that. But Coach Hancock had a lot of faith in me, and I came in and was able to, come out of the pen and get some good quality innings in, and help this team.
You had a 2.18 ERA last year, but the team really struggled to score runs. We lost a lot of close games. It was a really frustrating season, but this year we're scoring a lot of runs. That does give you a lot more confidence as a pitcher, knowing when you go out there and do your job, they're going to back you up.
Absolutely. Coming into the game knowing as long as we keep it where it's at, we're going to score some runs and we're going to win a ball game.
Talk about the close games last year. Like we said, weren't able to get over the hump a lot of times. What's different about this year's team? Seems to be a lot different attitude.
Definitely attitude has a lot to do with it. Confidence and just knowing that we're going to get the job done. Whatever, if we can find a way to do it, we're going to do it.
This year's pitching staff, again, another year of maturity. We brought back several starters, relievers like yourself and Jacob Westerhouse. Right now, team ERA 3.29, and really seem to be gelling well and doing a good job.
For sure. I feel like that's a great contribute to Coach Hancock and the way he's built an attitude and instilled that into us to continue to work hard. And he always says we're only as good as our weakest link. So as long as we keep pushing each other to get better and keep getting better each and every day, then we'll be as good as we want to be.
We seem to have kind of a gang from Fort Payne this year. We got 4 guys from Fort Payne. If you're on the mound, then we may have four guys on the field at one time. But talk about the high school program there. And obviously, it's a rare thing to have 4 guys from one school playing on a college team together.
It's very rare. I don't know if I've ever seen it before, but our coach back at Fort Payne, he always wanted us to, fulfill our dreams, and we always wanted to play college baseball. And so I don't really know how it all worked out. It just did, and it's an awesome experience to be able to play at the next level with 3 of your high school buddies.
I was going to say, it's always nice, to be able to get away from home to go to school, but then when you have that comfort level, those guys with you, it makes it special.
Yes, for sure.
Thanks for joining us, junior pitcher Austin Carpenter from Fort Payne. A player profile segment on Austin Carpenter, and as we mentioned in the segment, Austin one of 4 guys from Fort Payne on this team, Kyle Crabtree, Kyle Conkle, and then Jess Smith, and it's kind of a unique way that they've all just kind of assembled and become a part of this program here, but all are contributing this season.
Yeah, and it's Coach Johnny Johnson does a great job in that program, and we know what he does, and we're fortunate to get some of his players, and a lot of them came from the junior college first, and we're able to get him back. But either way, he does a good job and prepares those guys, and they're having good years for us.
And the bullpen's been really key for you. Austin, of course, one of those guys, 6 appearances this season, a 2.70 ERA, but I guess we have to talk about Jacob Westerhouse. We mentioned him in the first segment, but 4-0 right now, 3 saves, a 1.27 ERA, and really for your closer to come in and give you 3.5 innings in a clutch game against Montevallo was huge.
Yeah, and that's why Jacob, we can use him in multiple roles. We've kind of, prior to the season, you never know how a game's going to flow, which way it's going to go. You have some guys that come in at different situations, and Jacob's been kind of our guy. If we come out of a jam, if it has to be the 7th inning to get out of a jam, then a lot of times it depends how he does. He can also finish the game out, but we also know in the end, if he doesn't, we also got Austin Carpenter on the back end too. So I think both of those guys give us some options, and that's the thing about Austin. He's got when his slider and his velocity throws, he's got a good fly fastball. We usually like to use him in the ideal situation. We like to get him in the 7th and 8th where he starts the inning fresh, and then also he can get going times on a roll. Sometimes we'll leave him in, but both those guys are going to be key for us down the stretch, and they're going to obviously have a lot of impact here in the next couple weeks.
And we usually talk a lot about Brantley Clonch, Riley Sanderson as your 2 starters, but actually with the games we've had recently, we've been able to get a lot more work for the other guys, Kyle Stevenson, Bradley Bailey. Even though they gave up a few runs the other day, most of them were unearned, and really Bradley was a hard luck guy in that game with an error, but those guys have also pitched well for you.
Yeah, we needed to get him out. I know Coach Hancock was trying to get him back out there. We were able to get Todd Gibson in the other day in the conference and pitched extremely well, really shut them down when once we got going. In a game where there was a lot of walks, we had kind of a tight zone, and you weren't getting the calls, and I thought he battled through that extremely well. Bradley Bailey came in after Sean Smirnoff, and he got the line drive, then got another ground ball, and we didn't end up making the play, and then that allowed another run to score. We get another ground ball that actually Kyle Crabtree made a heck of a play to get the force out, and then Guzay picked it. That would have been inning over. Then they ended up getting a couple hits and battle to it. But prior to that, he did exactly what he's supposed to do: get the pitch, get the outs, and he did his job. And it's like something that's you got to work together, and the defense has to do their part too.
Of course, stats never tell the whole story, but Todd Gibson, a 0.93 ERA, Smirnoff 2.00, Blake Talley 2.38. When you're getting those kind of numbers from your relievers, your middle-of-the-week guys, that really helps the team.
Right, and I know that's one of the things we felt going in, that we have a chance to have a pretty deep pitching staff. And, one of the downsides of that, you got a lot of guys that are performing well, is, trying to get them out there. And I know that's the thing, trying to get the innings, because you could try to mix it in. Obviously, you'd like to get, Blake Talley back out there, and we need to get him up. Now, those are going to be happening when we got Spring Hill midweek. That's the 2 7-inning games. We haven't had that for a while, so they're going to have to be ready to go. And obviously, Spring Hill can really hit, so they're going to have their shot, and they're going to have to be ready to go.
We'll take one final break, and we'll talk about the Gulf South Conference race and some upcoming games when we come back.
Hi, I'm Mike Keene, head baseball coach at the University of North Alabama. Have you ever heard the saying, great baseball players are made in the off-season? As a college baseball coach, I can tell which high school recruits are on a weight program and which ones are not. Help your young athlete reach the top of the sport by training with the personal trainers at the Courthouse Racket Club. Our 5 trainers are ready to work at your athlete's pace and your schedule. Try our 3andMe training program designed for 3 athletes to work with a trainer and lower the cost to fit any budget. Call Ken Irby at 764-0034 to set up a program designed especially for your young athlete. The Courthouse Racket Club, proudly serving the Shoals for 30 years.
TNT Fireworks is proud to support the University of North Alabama and the Lion baseball team. Like the UNA baseball program, TNT Fireworks is committed to excellence. Our product, service, and teamwork are the reasons we are America's #1 selling fireworks brand. Check us out at tntfireworks.com. And remember, if it's not TNT, it's not fireworks. TNT Fireworks encourages the entire Shoals area to support head coach Mike Keene and his UNA Lions by attending a game at Mike D. Lane Field. Roar Lions!
A great combination, Frostbite and Montague's. Florence's first self-serve yogurt shop has over 50 rotating flavors and over 100 rotating toppings. Customizable frozen yogurt. When the cup is full, the toppings are close by. Just weigh and pay. All sandwiches at Montague's are under $5. The best Philly cheesesteak and Reuben in town. Delicious sides, and they cater. Get a UNA student discount, and they accept the main card. Like Frostbite on Facebook. Frostbite and Montague, 1611 North Pine Street, Florence. Open now, Frostbite on the UNA campus.
TVA Community Credit Union is proudly open to the entire community, offering unequaled service and convenience.
They are the TVA Community Credit Union, and they make you feel like you're part of the community, part of the family. Customer service is great. I mean, they're great with my wife and I, and my daughter.
We bought all of our houses, all of our cars, everything through them. With a little one running around, I don't have a lot of time, so it's real simple just to pull my mobile up and go straight to the site and check my account.
I recommend them all the time, to be honest with you. For one, I mean, their rates are great. Try to work with you to get you the lowest rates, to get you where you need to be, to set you up for the future. Don't feel like I'm a number at all. I feel like I'm a part of the family.
From mobile banking to the latest platform in online banking, we make managing your financing fast and easy. Our members are the owners of our credit union, so there are no high-priced stockholders to pay, allowing us to give our members totally free accounts and amazing loan rates. TVA Community Credit Union, everybody's credit union.
We're joined by junior outfielder Taylor Hayes from Florence, Alabama. And Taylor played locally at Central High School. We've had a lot of great baseball players come through our program from Central. Taylor redshirted in 2012, but you had a special moment in 2013. Your first collegiate hit was a home run. That had to be something special.
Yeah, it was pretty special. It was just one of those games where we got ahead, and I was a freshman, and I just got an opportunity to try to get a hit, and it just happened to be a home run.
You worked your way into the lineup more the last 2 seasons. Last year, played in 22 games with 6 starts, but you really had an opportunity to really break out this season. You're batting .320 right now. I think maybe more impressive, that's a .500 on-base percentage, and in one game you even walked 4 times, but you've been able to be very patient at the plate, and that's really paid off helping the team.
Yeah, it's really helped me. I mean, it's really helped me get chances, seeing the ball really well, working the counts, drawing on base percentage, and being able to get people more RBIs and get me in.
You had a game-winning hit against Valdosta in the 9th inning, a 7-6 win there. You came in, pinch hit again against Trevecca, had a hit and a walk, and those have really helped us pick up a couple of wins there. What helped you get prepared to come in as a pinch hitter and deliver in those situations?
I mean, Coach Keene's pretty much been preparing me for this. I've been pinch hitting ever since I've been here. It's kind of a role I've taken on, and I kind of joked with Wesley about this. About the 7th or 8th inning, I usually go to my bullpen. It's usually the hitting area. And that's what I just get prepared for those situations and try to take control of it and do what I can.
What's different about this year's team? Last year we had so many close games, so many real heartbreaks. This year we've been able to win those games. We're 16-6 right now, and again, you've been a big part of that, but it seems like the attitude is just totally different this season.
I think it's the senior leadership. I mean, everybody's locked on from first pitch on. 7th inning, we get together as a team, and we got to win this game. We come together. Everybody, we know we're going to win, and we expect to win. So that's the difference about this year.
You've also had a chance to start a lot of games. You've started as a designated hitter, but you've also started in the outfield, and we have a very competitive situation in the outfield, and you've been able to break into there. And it seems like the group really works well together defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's very competitive. It's always been competitive in the outfield here, and you just really got to take your chances because everybody's just pushing the play.
Thanks for being with us, UNA junior outfielder Taylor Hayes of Florence. We want to thank the TVA Community Credit Union for providing and sponsoring the player profile segments this season. It's been a lot of fun interviewing, getting to know the players a little bit better, and one of those we just talked to, Taylor Hayes there, had an incredible day the other day. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody walk 4 times in a game, but a couple of them he said were kind of easy. A couple of them he really had to work the count, but he's really been a guy that's contributed, had some key hits for you and helped win some games.
You know, Taylor's been in our program and, you know, just continues to get better and better every year. And one thing I like about Taylor is he really does everything that we ask him to do. He's going to approach it the way we want him to do it. And I think that's why he's continued to improve. And one of the things he's learned how to do is be patient. And I know in high school he was not that kind of hitter, but he's had some big hits. He started some games early in the year, you know, mixed it in for some defensive purposes, got him DHing, and then, you know, his hit against Valdosta the other day, you can see why you know, he's such a good, you know, big impact for our season, because he also, when they went up 1-0, he got a hit right away and went back to 1-1. And like you said, his on-base percentage, I think he's got like a 500 almost on-base percentage. Yep. It's incredible how much he's getting on base and just doing a great job, and that's one of the reasons we're having the season that we're having.
The Lions 4th in the Gulf South Conference standings right now. A change this year, only 6 teams are going to make the GSC tournament instead of all the teams, so all the conference games are very important, and there's the possibility, of course, that whoever wins the regular season will get to host the tournament. That could be huge for whoever gets that.
You know, it's one of those things, you know, we used to have, back when the Arkansas schools were in, the USA Stadium in Millington, Tennessee was kind of the mainstay, and we knew every year where we're going. Then after the Arkansas left, we really could not find a consistent place to play. You know, it was in Georgia, then it was in Chattanooga, then even last year we didn't know, I think it was about 2 weeks before we even get toward the end of the season. So what kind of decided we'll try a regular season champion, we'll be hosting it. Now, a lot of people don't know that. We're talking about, we've been here long enough to remember when they used to do that. And the one thing it does, it is a pretty neat atmosphere, because the crowds are going to be a lot larger. Mostly you're not having huge stadiums like you do in some of the minor league ballparks. Usually it's a lot louder, especially for the home team, and they do well. It can have some good crowds. I know we had some great crowds back in the 90s when we used to host those.
Right now, Alabama, Huntsville, West Georgia, West Alabama all nationally ranked. UNA also in the regional ranking, so it's going to be a tough stretch with this year 33 conference games, which is the most ever.
Yeah, it's you know, this is what it's going to kind of bounce back and forth. You get some teams playing each other that are in the top, and that's going to happen again this week. And you got Delta State playing UAH, so that's going to be a big weekend, you know, West Georgia and West Florida, so you're going to switch out. So obviously this is a big, you know, weekend for us to kind of make a push before we head to UAH. So it's a lot of season left. You got to keep playing well, and you got to keep winning those series to get you out in the top 6.
And not only the increase in the Gulf South Conference games has helped, but you always want to play in-region games. You always want to play Division II games. We haven't had that luxury before, but we do now. You're able to play Miles, Lemoyne-Owen, Montevallo, and so that's really helped, not only from good competition, but if you get those wins, they really help you in the regional rankings.
Right, and you know, and trying to figure out sometimes the regionals, how they do it is tough. So what we try to do is play as many Division II teams as you can, obviously, and then the big thing in the midweek games, you got to win them. Those are huge games down the stretch. The more wins you get on in-region games, obviously the better. But losses can hurt you quite a bit too in the midweek, so that's why you got to concentrate and you got to be able to play well. And I know we got another one in Spring Hill who moved into Division II. So we've been fortunate. We've had a lot of the NAI teams in our area now have moved into Division II and give us more opportunity to play some games.
So spring break coming up, the Lions going to be down playing 2 games at Spring Hill on Wednesday. So not going down to go to the beach. Maybe you work a little bit of that in, but Spring Hill, as you said, I mean, it's going to be a good opponent for you, a midweek game.
Yeah, you know, when I didn't know much about them, and when we scheduled them, I knew they've had a good ball team, a history of having some good teams. Boy, I tell you what, they can hit. I looked at their stats the other day. It's probably going to be one of the best hitting teams that we're going to face this year. So obviously our pitching is going to have to come through, and you know, we're going to have to get in there. We're going to have to prepare, because it's going to be a big and tough challenge for us down there.
Last Sunday, we want to thank Josh Willingham, a former UNA All-American Major League player. We had Josh Willingham Appreciation Day. He came out, threw out the first pitch against Christian Brothers, signed autograph for the fans, and hung around. It was great to see Josh.
Yeah, it was great to see him, and he went all the way to the top of the mound and threw from the pitching rubber and was able to get it there and put a little velocity onto it. So, you know, just great to honor him.
The Lions playing at Spring Hill on Wednesday. Next weekend, Alabama Huntsville coming in for a huge Gulf South Conference series. Hope to see you out at Mike Lane Field.
Thank you for watching the UNA Baseball Review. Please join us again next Sunday at 11:30.